All right. Hey, everybody. Cleta the Cheetah here. It is week 5 of our Boss Babe, Be the Game Changer. Be the Game Changer. So we're excited to have you back on here. Make sure you comment on here, especially if you're on YouTube or if you're on the other, let us know you're here. Let us know how you're doing. Let us know. I like to go back and read the comments and stuff. So anyway, thank you for joining us. I know a lot of people, like hundreds, watch it after the fact. And so welcome to the Cheetah Nation Boss Babe Call. Okay, I'm going to share the screen with you guys and we're going to get started. How about start on the front? Here we go. Okay, so we're on week number 5 and let's talk about who was a game changer last week. So I want you to, in the chat, put how many points you have for last week. Week number 4, how many points you had. All right. And so just to remind you really quick while you're adding up your points for being on the success meeting with your camera on, that's like now, okay, 20 points. Just by having a weekly accountability call or text with your sales director, 30 points. For every new name and number collected via skincare surveys, warm chat, or referrals, 10 points. Y'all, that right there, make it a goal to get at least 10 names a week. Some people try to have 5 a day. For every party booked with 3 or more in attendance, that's 25. For every party held, 50 points. For every face pampered with samples, 20 points. For every guest who attends an in-person or virtual guest event, for every 20 points. For every career chat, 25 points. For every career chat held. So for booked and then held is 50, and every new team member 100 points. Okay. So here we go. So we got some hundreds, 125, Valerie, 185, Lynn, Vicky, 195. Congrats. Okay, y'all, I'm sure we have some more than that. So y'all get your points on here. 90 for Linda. And let's get those numbers up, right? Because here's what we know. If we're not doing any points down here, we're not probably making a ton of money. Now, I know some of you are probably like, well, I sold $500 reorders, but I didn't do any of that stuff. Okay, which is good because we love our reorder business in Mary Kay, but we also want to grow our business, right? So that these points are for growth. And so that's when you'll see a little bit higher. So we're going to work on that. 225, Karen Oldham. Thank you, Karen. Way to go. So we'll continue to look at that as we do the call tonight. Y'all, if you hadn't added them up, make sure you add them up and put them in there. Okay. Let me glance over here at YouTube. And let's see if we got some points. No one's posted points on YouTube, but if y'all do, I'll come back and look at them. Okay. So I got Stacy James on here again because y'all know last week was so amazing, right? And then she kind of cut off at 15 minutes. And today, when I was getting the thing up for our next speaker, I noticed it was a part 2. So there's 4 minutes of Stacy James where she wrapped up her story kind of that I want to play for you tonight before we start our next speaker. Okay, so just sit back and relax. Hopefully you can remember the last part of the last one, but we're gonna play this one. So here we go.
Wow, using up my time, but I felt like I already was a leader. This was going to allow me to be a leader with an impact. So I became a sales director and I did earn my Cadillac, and 5 months later, we did break a company record when I was my first month actually as a brand new sales director. The company sent a corporate person to do a big guest event and a workshop for us. And that gave me a platform of knowing that this was something greater than I really acknowledged or understood in the beginning. When I say that it fills voids, it helps women develop a stronger sense of confidence and belief in themselves, which I feel changes the fabric and the quality of our lives. When we believe in ourselves more, we lead our lives differently. We view the world differently, and we establish a greater confidence in our children, because confidence is something that affects how we raise our kids. It is a generational blessing. And then you gain friends and mentors and fun and adventure. And the mentors in Mary Kay are built right in. and they're to help us be as successful as possible. I don't believe that mentors in other businesses are quite the same as they are in our company. In fact, very rare for women in corporate America to have other women who help them become more successful. That's not usually the atmosphere in that environment. Our environment is different. Our environment is uncommon. Our environment is unusual. And we need to celebrate that, because it was because of Mary Kay Ash that we operate in a whole different capacity. So then I believe that financially, of course, it can fill voids in the financial department. I went from that 11,000 a year to my first, my fifth month as a sales director with a $10,000 check. So my fifth month as a sales director, making more in 1 month or the same in 1 month, just about, as I've made an entire year in my teaching income, my teaching career. Is that a crazy thought? And then, of course, we earned that Cadillac, and I got to replace my car with a hole in the floorboard with a brand new, shiny, gorgeous, amazing Cadillac. And I remember when they called me and said, your Cadillac's in and you can come pick it up. And I literally backed my back up against the wall, slid down to the floor, and cried again. And with those tears, it was the fact that this company was going to give me a beautiful car for doing a great job. And when I taught school, I was highly conscientious, very committed, and gave it all and my best. And they gave me a ham for Christmas, It's about finding the right opportunity. It's about finding something that is as glorious and beautiful and God blessed as this company and this business is. So a deeper level of faith and closer relationship with the Lord, and having the freedom and the flexibility, and my husband retired at age 32 to work with me. And so we have worked together for the last 35 years in Mary Kay. And so this is something that affects in and out, around and through, and elevates your entire life. So when you are committed, when you make it a priority, when you take it seriously, and you really do understand everything it can be for you, then everything that you could possibly dream about will come true. Wow, using up my time, but I felt like
Okay, you guys, I'm going to stop the share a minute, and I'm going to put you on gallery view. I know that, like, you might think, I don't remember what she was saying at the end. I don't either. It's been a big week. But what stood out to you just in these last 4 minutes of her wrap up? What stood out to you? Anybody can just unmute if you have something.
I love that we all cheer for each other and want each other to succeed. When you succeed, it's not taking anything away from me. We're just all happy together, you know? That is not how it is in the corporate world or anywhere else. I can't think of any place.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Maureen?
When she said a leader with an impact, that, you know what, that's special. We get to choose when we want to promote. We don't have to wait. And if we want to lead, we can lead. And if we don't want to, we can be led by a great leader. So either way in Mary Kay, if you want to be a beauty consultant, a red jacket, or a sales director, it doesn't matter. But I loved that we get the choice. We can lead with impact. So that I love that.
Absolutely. Thank you. Anybody else have anything from the quick 4 little minutes?
Yeah, I wanted to say something. What I find that's so rewarding and enriching, or just inspiring, is that she speaks about Mary Kay, and I know this is true of Mary Kay, that Mary Kay is concerned about our well-being, like the whole package of us. And that's so important in today's world. You know, that is something that's really needed, because when you give your all to your company and they don't care about the dangling participles of your life, that's maybe not a company you want to hang out with and stay with. But Mary Kay, they are there with you through thick and thin and everything in between. And they truly do care about you and how things are going and how things are happening. And that makes a big difference, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Gail. Sarah, I know you had your hand up.
I did. The confidence, the whole confidence stuff. And not only do our kids see it because we get the confidence from this, from doing this, because I know my confidence has grown, but just her whole thing on confidence.
Yes, absolutely. Don't y'all love that she went from $11,000 a year and then 5 months later, 10,001 month? That's
Oh, yeah.
an increase. And that can happen for you too, you guys. That was
Yep,
many
yep.
years ago. So, okay, well, thank you for your comments. We're going to go on to the next part of it. But I felt after I listened to it, I'm like, I got to share it. So at least y'all can hear. It's like, Paul Harvey. It's the rest of the story. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, here we go. All right. So tonight, our speaker is the amazing Jeannie Martin. Jeannie's from Illinois, and I have met her several times. I told her my goals to be $1 million director, and this year, and she texted me and she said, "Do you care if I check in on you with that goal this year?" I'm like, "No, ma'am, I don't care at all." And so I'm like, I was honored, honestly. And so that's the kind of person she is. So you guys, I'm gonna have Maureen read a little bit about Jeannie, her little bio here. So look at this on the bio and make a few notes about that, of what stands out to you in her bio. Okay. And you can go ahead. Well, I'm going to mute everybody first, Maureen, and then let you unmute yourself. Okay, go ahead.
All right. Thank you for asking me to speak. I love Jeannie Martin. She is a woman who offered herself up to the Chicagoland area and then for directors as a director meeting. And you have to earn that director meeting to go to it. And I guess some Michigan ladies were creeping over into Chicago. And so she decided to do one Chicago lunch brunch, they call it, once a month director meeting that you have to earn the right to sit at that table. And then she decided to be as generous as she is to do one per month for Michigan directors. So each month I go after that as a hard goal, and being around her and everybody else who earns that right is amazing. The woman is generous. She's straightforward. She talks from her heart, and there's not you go to work. She's a teacher. So I really love being around her. So anyways, Jeannie Martin from Sandwich, Illinois. She's a former high school English teacher and speech teacher. Her highlights: she began in August of 1988 as an independent sales director. Began in 1988, independent sales director, September 1990. Independent sales director, July 2010. She earned the monthly Go Give Award in April of 2007 and $1 million sales director 2 times, which Cleet is going to be this year. Anyway, one of the things I hear her say a whole lot is, I collect people. And the first time I heard her say that, it was a little weird, but then I understood what she meant, and it was precious and loving. Her bio says, I collect people. Throughout my Mary Kay journey, I've met people who have changed my life, and hopefully I've impacted a few lives as well. People collector. My Mary Kay business was never about selling lipsticks or a cleanser, says independent national sales director emeritus Jeannie Martin. I am a collector of people. My business allowed me to gather people around a kitchen table to make them feel beautiful. I gave independent beauty consultants a victory celebration that built their self-confidence and challenged independent sales directors to divulge their dreams and make their goals a reality. Who knew how many different people my Mary Kay journey would lead me to? They made an enormous impact on my life and ultimately made me a better person all around. Jeannie was a high school English teacher and speech teacher looking for some extra cash when she started her Mary Kay business. I wanted to visit my brother who was working in Rome. I was able to take my family on our first trip to Europe that summer with my earrings from my Mary Kay business. Earnings, earrings. Lord have mercy.
He probably wore some earrings too.
I need to get some new glasses. Okay, thank you. Interestingly enough, the company took me back to Rome on my first top sales director trip almost 15 years later. Jeannie is grateful to Independent Senior National Sales Director Emeritus Sandy Miller for teaching her what Jeannie feels is ultimately the greatest lesson, making others feel important. I love being with people, and I feel so fortunate that my Mary Kay business offered me the opportunity to do what I love. As an emeritus, Jeannie leaves a legacy of women who continue to aspire to fulfill their God-given leadership potential. In this next chapter of her life, Jeannie intends to use the skills she learned through her Mary Kay business while seeking opportunities to increase her leadership capacity. She continues to make a difference in people's lives through things she's never done before, saying, "As I turn the last page of the book titled Mary Kay National Sales Director, I'm working on the first chapter of Watch Out World, We've Unleashed Her," which sounds exactly like her. But I'll tell you, one of the things I love most about her as a fairly new sales director is that with all the sales director that earns the right to be at that table each month, she has figured out a way to level the playing field. So when I'm sitting next to pink Cadillac sales directors and trip earning directors, we're working from a particular report that has leveled the playing field. So you might be new, but the numbers are going to reveal how hard you're working, and our numbers can be compatible from the report that she's teaching us to use. So she's a fabulous woman, and I'm so glad that I've met her.
Thank you so much. Perfect, perfect, Maureen. And I feel the same way about her. She's so enthusiastic. She's quite the fashionista. She went shopping with me and Holly, and y'all know Holly, my buddy. She loves to go to boutiques, right? And so at the $1 Million Weekend in Nemacolin, Pennsylvania last year, and so we got a few pictures of some outfits that she's something else, really. And so anyway, I was excited to see that she was one of our teachers. So you guys get your piece of paper out or get your notebook out with and make some notes so that you will, have something to discuss with it, and it makes it go by faster, and you'll learn a lot. So here we go. We're going to play her little short speech. It's only 6 minutes.
Late at night, it's my best time. I do my best thinking late at night, and I'm perusing my office, and I see a string of photo albums that I actually kept up until I became a national. And I thought, where in that string of, from 1988, when I joined, 1990, became a director, what was a game-changing moment? And I thought about, it was in around the year 2000 when Mary Kay was opening the Philippines. And my national at the time was Sandy Miller, and she and many more nationals had made a decision to go to the Philippines and to help to open it, see what was going to happen. Well, of course, I'd never done anything foreign. I was still teaching full time. But I was intrigued by this, and there were some of my friends were going, and in the Mary Kay world, I heard of a lot of people going, and I decided to be all in. And I remember in that time period, the only method of communication at the time, we didn't have Voxer, we didn't have a lot of the mediums, social media that we use now, but email was good. I could email people. And so I could also meet people live. And so I took it upon myself to meet and talk to anybody who knew anybody who was from the Philippines. And I did some major conversations. I went, oh my gosh, I can remember going to a gas station because someone told me that the person that worked there was from the Philippines. I heard about cousins and sisters, or somebody that there were a lot of people in the nursing profession that were from the Philippines. And I made it I went way out of my comfort zone to talk to anybody to say, do you know anybody in the Philippines that I could meet when I go over there? The communication was solely by email because there wasn't time, of course, to mail back and forth. And when I got there, I could only describe it. I'll do it in a simplistic fashion. They anticipated some kind of an opening of the Philippines, but on the days that they were going to open, people had traveled from all over the country. Literally, they came, I think some of them did actually like horses too. And I'm being exaggerating a little bit. They went to buses, the buses, they went to trains, the trains they took to whatever. They didn't have cars, but they took all kinds of public transportation to come long distances to come. And there were over 2,200 people that came, and they didn't have room for them. It was an incredible experience, and I was there for maybe over a week. I took off from school. I sponsored people who I met. They didn't even know what I looked like, barely. And they came and they were looking for somebody that said Martin, which was happening all around me. And people joined, and we signed them up, and we did training, and we talked about staying in touch. And we sat on the bed of our hotel and gave them facials and talked to them about how you had facials and skincare classes and what Mary Kay was all about. And I'm going to encapsulate it into saying that when I came home, I think I'd sponsored maybe 26 or 30 people. But what happened when I came home was actually in one of the malls that we had shopped in, there was a bombing. And when we came home, we'd gone over to another little tiny island, and there was some hostages being held at one of the islands close to Makati, one of them. And I thought to myself, I don't think I want to go back to a country where there are bombs in shopping centers. Why wouldn't I work with the same diligence, the same intention, the same purpose, the same, I want to say, enthusiasm that I had when I was bringing people in the Philippines? It was a game changer. I don't think I had ever worked like I worked to go to the Philippines, and while I was in the Philippines and when I came home. And yeah, it was 2000, but I'm a rung person. I'm not a rooftop, and I have to do things in stages. And from that, developed, well, I actually ended up, eventually, that was when I was winning my first trips, because I was intentional. That was when I started I quit teaching after my second trip in 2004 and became a national in 2010. I know that might seem like that was a long period of time, but in my mind, game changing. What I could do when I really wanted to, and when I had a goal that I wanted to achieve. And step by step, from trip after trip, I never missed a trip after I did the first one. We built to 1 million. We built directors while we were building our trip-taking $1 million units, and we became a national area. What was the game changer? It was realizing that when I really wanted something badly enough and was willing to give my all, I could do anything. So I wonder what you'll think of. What would be your game changer? What will it take to make you realize that you can achieve anything you want when you want it bad enough, and you're willing to do things you've not done before to get it?
Okay, you guys. My mouse is acting crazy. All right. So I thought that was really good. And let me tell you why. To add on to her story, and then I want to get some discussion. I too, I think it was 2015, they decided to open Columbia. And honestly, I thought, I really did ask Brad. I'm like, Brad, where is Columbia? He goes, Cleta, it's in South America. I'm like, okay. So everybody speaks Spanish there. I do not speak Spanish. And so they were opening in Columbia. And then like Jeannie Martin, I heard of a lot of my friends like going over there. And I'm thinking, should I go to Columbia? I mean, I don't speak Spanish, but maybe I need to go to Columbia. I'm like, I feel like I'm fixing to miss out on something. So I got on Facebook and I said, anybody know anybody from Columbia? I'm thinking about going over there. Mary Kay starting. And I got some messages. And you guys, I had a high school friend that I had not seen in 40 years. Okay. Messaged me and he goes, my wife's whole family. He lived in Panama. And he said, my wife, she's from Columbia and her whole family's there. I said, you think you could get me up, 10 to 20 people? He goes, I can get up 40 or, something like that. And I'm like, well, all right. So then I reached out to my minister where I go to church. I said, do we got any missionaries? Or you know anybody over in Columbia? Because I thought church people, at least they'll be like good Christian people I could work with. And so they gave me a couple names. So I contacted them. And I said, do you think you can get up 10 or 20 people for me? And they're like, yes. And so I had like 3 ministers in Columbia. And so anyway, long story short, I flew over there with Mary Sharon Howell, another Mary Kay sales director. And the month before, I tried to practice some Spanish. I downloaded one of the apps. Anyway, you can only imagine. So we get over there. Of course, my mother was like, and Brad and I just got married. He's like, I don't, make sure you're with other people. Promise me you will stay with other people the whole time. I'm like, I will. It's a Mary Kay thing. Well, it really is a Mary Kay thing, but it wasn't a Mary Kay thing. We basically had to get our own hotel. We were on our own. And if y'all could have seen, there was a black horse coming down the highway at us. And I'm like, this lady, I'm like, there's a big old black horse coming out. She goes, oh yeah. And I'm like, we're going to die. And then like the traffic, anyway, I can't even tell you. I can't even describe it to you. That's a whole nother story. But long story short, when we went to the thing, there was about 5,000 people and a couple thousand signed up that night. I got 25 recruits myself in the 10 days that I was over there. I went to 3 different cities, flew 2 different places. What an experience. I had to hire an interpreter, the whole 9 yards. Anyway, I came home and I tried to work with these people. But much like Jeannie Martin, I thought maybe I should work in a country that I could speak the same language would be helpful, right? And so it didn't really work out. You have to develop at least a sales director within your first 2 years of being in a country. And so that really didn't happen. And so, but like her, I thought, now look, if I could get strangers of people that don't even speak English to show up for a guest event and recruit 25 people, including men, and go have a sales meeting in the top of a church that had bars on the window with a guy driving me in a cab that only speaks Spanish, why can't I go down the road and knock on a neighbor's door and say, have you ever heard of Mary Kay, and get that excited. And so I agree with Jeannie 100%. I never went back to Columbia. I'm so glad I had the experience. And, some people they did so well over there, but I do think the language was my little problem. But anyway, it's a matter of, I really meant I was going to get some people over there because they said you need to get, like 75 to 100 contacts before you go somewhere. And so anyway, now enough about me, but when I heard her story, I'm like, Jeannie, yes, I understand. So you guys tell me what you thought about her story and what stood out to you a little bit about it. And anybody can just unmute.
Okay, I'll do it.
Thank you, Connie.
All right. So when she said that she realized that when she really wanted something, like when she really wanted it, she would do things she never would have done before in order to achieve it. So you're going to work harder. And I can attest to that. When I was earning my very first Mary Kay car, I was not yet a sales director. And I'm going to just tell you, I kept telling people, oh my gosh, I'm earning my very first Mary Kay car. I'm earning my very first Mary Kay. Every party I went to, every face I saw, I'm earning my very first Mary Kay car. And it builds excitement. People want to be a part of that excitement. And so you're willing to step out of your comfort zone to ask people to help you do things when you are on mission to earn that very first car, to become a sales director and beyond.
So true. So true. It's like me moving my last bag. You're on a mission and you have a deadline. And if you have a deadline, you have to get it done. So just like if you, Sayla, share with you on your last day of becoming a sales director on New Year's Eve.
Oh, golly. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So my last day of becoming a sales director, it was New Year's Eve that year, and I still needed, I don't know, maybe 7 people. It was crazy but I was determined that somehow I was going to do it. So I left home and I told my husband, I packed up my stuff and I said, I'm going to Cleta's and I'm not coming home until I'm a sales director. And he looked at me. I don't know if he was probably saying, yay, maybe you won't come home. I don't know. No. But anyway, I went to Cleta's that night and we sat and started. Now I had been working, working, talking to people. And I had asked a lot of people if I needed them at the last minute, would they come on board? And they said yes. But the caveat was, it was New Year's Eve and there were, most people were at parties and it kept getting later and later. And literally I was calling people at 11 at night saying, hey, I need you. And they were leaving the New Year's Eve party and giving me, saying, okay, let me get signed up. Here's my information. Let's place an order. And so that night, and we have the picture to prove it, especially me, I look like I had been run through the ringer. We made it. But I was determined. And as the story goes, my middle son, I never heard from him that night. And I just knew that he would, message me or something. And so the next day, I said, Chad, why didn't you call me? And he said, Mom, I was afraid you didn't make it. And so, but I did make it. And so we were all celebrating, but it's important to run and run hard and don't give up until you, either it's done or you can't do it anymore.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's funny, like any other day, if I said, Sayla, tomorrow you're going to have to get 7 qualified recruits. You know what I'm saying? Like, but on that last day, you're like, oh, I'm doing it. Like,
oh yeah,
have a different determination when there's a goal with a deadline. I know when I became a sales director and my anniversary to become a director, it was 6 days ago on February the 1st, 34 years ago. And the week, so 34 and 1 week ago, I, on the day I was finishing, I still needed 5 people to get my 35. And there was it was all mail. Okay. So I had to drive to a distribution center to turn it in because it was the last day. Okay. I'd already missed the Delta Dash where you could go drive to the airport, pay $50 and they'll fly it over there. So I missed that. So I knew I had to drive. So I'd already called some people and said, if I need one more, will you do it? If I need one more, will you do it? So every single one, I'm like, I just need one more. Will you do it? And so I picked up 5 paper agreements with cash. Okay. Because it was only cash or cashier's check, no checks, cash or cashier's checks. So at this point, it had to be cash. So I picked up cash for 5 agreements and 5 orders. And I drove to Atlanta, a 4.5 hour drive to turn them in to finish directorship that day. And so I'm just saying, if there's a will, there's a way. If you have a goal with a final deadline, you will do it. Like there was no way I wasn't doing it. There's no way Sayla wasn't doing it. I mean, that's just the truth. When you really decide, you will get it done and everybody will know and everybody will be asking you about it. And,
yeah, because normally you would not call people at 11:30 at night.
No.
Or even midnight. One I called at midnight. And normally I would say, oh, I'll just talk to her later. It's too late. But that night I was dialing that phone.
And, we had another girl, Celine Burgess, in my unit. She needed to get 15 active on the last day. 15. And I can remember her being at my house and we had our marker board going. And I mean, just one by one by one, I mean, we did it. And it's just like a miracle. And it's exciting though. And it shows you can do more than you think you can do. You absolutely can do more. You have more in you than you can even imagine. And there's probably other areas in your life where you have dug down deep and did something that you thought you couldn't do, because it might have been for your children or another goal, like maybe college or another work related something that you did, but you know, you had to stretch out that comfort zone. And so I put a little star. I don't know if y'all caught this, sales directors. She won her first trip while she was still teaching school full time. So she was doing Mary Kay part time and earned the top director trip. That's a mind blowing game change moment to me too, because a lot of people think, oh, you know, here she did it part time and earned the top director trip. So I thought that was pretty awesome too. Who else has something that they got from this tonight?
I want to say something.
Okay.
I'm gonna ditto everything. I had to have 10 new recruits the last week of my directorship. And you do find that when you want something bad enough, you will find a way to do it. And I was in the same era with Cleta. I mean, I had to drive 2 hours to get to JetBlue, or I don't even know what it was, and to get that there. But I found, like, literally, y'all, we had phones that connected to the wall. Like, we didn't have phones that you could take with you. And I set up interviews with some of my really good customers. I wanted it that bad, you know, and some of them are still consultants. You know, they may be personal use, but they're still consultants. But something about Jeannie's story, I've been able, when Kathy Goff Brummett was a national, she brought Jeannie in. And I think after hearing the story of hers tonight about the Columbia, and then she realized, you know, my goodness, let me work in the USA. She came home and did what she called Tour de Martin. And I think it was like Tour de France or whatever. And she went from place to place to place to place, building and wrapped up national. And that, I think, after hearing her story tonight, going to Columbia, she probably realized, my goodness, there's so many people in the United States that need this business. Let me just go work with some of them. And she did. And she set out. And like Cleta said, what Jeannie said too, she was working full time as an English teacher. So anyway, I just thought that was cool. Yeah. I think we have a lot right here in the United States. We need to get out and just
absolutely
get off of it.
That's absolutely. And of course, she went to the Philippines. I'm the one that went to Colombia.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And I don't know, Philippines, do they speak English? I think they do, right?
I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know.
I'm well traveled if Mary Kay takes me. That's about it.
They are taught in kindergarten and are in school to speak English, but they also speak Tagalong. That's the name of their language, is Tagalong.
Like Pig Latin, Cleta.
Oh, I can do Pig Latin now. I Kay, Octay, Igpay, Atenlay, all day only. That's for another day. That's a hidden talent y'all did not know I had. Okay, anybody else have something? Grace says all that time you had to finish up early in the day to drive to open distribution center. That's right, Grace. We did not until midnight. We had to get it there by 7 o'clock. And so, yeah, you did not have till midnight for sure. Okay, awesome. So here's to boil up what she said, you know, when you really, really want something bad enough and you really have a goal with a deadline, you know, you will make it happen. So if there's something you've been really wanting, you really haven't committed to it. Because honestly, it's there for you in Mary Kay. It's not a shortage of people in the United States of America. We got plenty of people around here, right? It's just a matter of you getting excited, that enthusiasm. And I like that thing you said, Tour de Martin. So she decided, I'm going to go everywhere and I'm going to meet people. And she is a people collector, and she doesn't forget people, and she makes you feel important when she talks to you. Just like her reaching out to me, and I only met her like twice, and she was like, can I check on you with that goal? You know, and it was pretty amazing. So anyway, I think the world of Jeannie Martin. If you ever have a chance to listen to her speak again, make sure you do it, because she's the real deal. Okay, I'm going to share the screen with you for a second, and I've got just a couple more things. Okay, I know we talked about this last week, but you know, the hand creams are out. They're new and they're already available. These are the beautiful earrings that you can win for a 600 this month, the month of February. And it's called Walk a Mile in Her Shoes. That's the theme for this month. And so they're beautiful, like a little chain. You know, you're going to love them. Also, new products coming out. So there are 2 new boosters coming out. One is this Clinical Solution PHA plus AHA resurfacer. So this, just to put it in like layman's terms, this is to make your skin smoother. So if you feel like your skin is not smooth or it's a little rougher, this is helpful for that. It says it accelerates surface skin renewal and gently dissolves dead skin cells with a powerful boost of large and small hydroxy acids plus skin replenishing glycerin. And so this is a booster, so it goes on first, okay? And there's lots and lots and lots of training on this, and from the Mary Kay scientists that are smarter than Mary McLeod. So you may want to go and watch some of those videos. If we have time, I'm going to play a couple of them tonight. Okay, the second one is this Clinical Solution, and it's called with Ferulic plus niacinamide brightener. This is something to help visible dark spot reduction. People that have dark spots. Why do people get dark spots? From the sun, pregnancy, mass, different things like that. And it addresses multiple pathways to reduce uneven skin tone and boost your skin's brightness with a trio of proven skin brightening ingredients, including ferulic acid, niacinamide, and navy bean extract. So these are 2, they're both 38. You might notice the color is different than the other 2, which we had the hydrator one and the one for deep wrinkles. And so that kind of, when you get the bottles, you can see the different colors of them, okay? We already talked about the hand creams. This is very popular, the After Sun Replenishing Gel. There's multiple uses. My husband uses it as his moisturizer every day on his face. That's what he likes the best. He just said it doesn't make me oily. I just really like it. And that's what he likes to use it year round. But it is also great for after sun. You know, if you ever get a little red in the sun, you just smooth it on. It'll cut that red right out and you won't peel. It's the bomb. It is limited edition. They'll usually have it around till about August, and then it's going to be bye-bye. So I order enough myself to have all year long because my customers love this product. 3 new of these sticks, okay? There is the honey and luster, pearl and gold, and bronze and shimmer. And the honey luster and bronze and shimmer they're duo, and there's like a matte and a shimmer. So it's like a contour and a bronzer, all right? And then there's the highlighter in pearl and gold. And so these are absolutely beautiful. We also have 2 new lipsticks that are adding to our line, not limited edition. They're actually going to be added to the line, I believe. Think of pink and very raspberry. I should have worn it tonight. But they're really, really pretty, as you can see. As a reminder, you want to be working on the most important things game tracking sheet for consultants, which is to develop 3 or more great start personal team members. And be a star consultant in this quarter or next quarter to win the beautiful scarf. And then if you want the new red jacket, which are beautiful, I know y'all seen them, you have to get 5, and you also get to go on stage. So those are the things you want to be working on. Let me show you a quick video of a girlfriend of mine. Her name is Amanda Wright, who showed the 3 sticks and how she uses them. And when I watched it, I'm like, okay, I think I can do it. All right. So I don't know about y'all, but you know, sometimes you see this stuff, you're like, I don't even know. I mean, that's not being negative. It's just like, I don't even know. Okay. So I want to show them to you. She did such a great job. I actually shared it today. So let me hang on. Let me just pull it up real quick and I'm going to share the screen with you, hopefully. All right, hang on just one moment. There she is. Okay. Let me just stop this and start it back over. Okay, here we go. Oh, hang on. I got her muted.
Okay, you guys asked for them and they're back. Our cream contour sticks. This time they're enhanced with a bronzer on the other side that matches. So this first one I'm showing you is our Honey and Luster, which is going to be perfect for our ivory and very light beige customers. This one is our Bronze and Shimmer. It's the one that I use. And then we have a cream highlighter stick in Pearl and Gold. Please ignore my boxing injury. Okay, let me show you how to use these bad boys. Again, I'm using the Bronze and Shimmer, which is the darker of the two, to contour my nose, under my lip, which adds fullness, there under my cheekbones to slim the face and add a little illusion of a chiseled cheekbone, which I do not have. And then my favorite go-to, which is under the jawline, to help camouflage any chubbiness that you might have there. I'm just using our liquid foundation brush to blend this out. These are creamy, 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 but they are not going to add any oil or greasiness to your skin. They blend out super easily and just give the face a natural warmth in all the right areas, as you can see. Now I'm going to come back with the bronzer side of that same duo stick in Shimmer. And I'm just adding it right where the sun would naturally give me a little bit of color if I had spent too much time, let's say, sitting on a patio drinking a margarita. That's what I wish I was doing right now. Not quite warm enough for that yet. So we have to fake it with bronzer. So I'm just adding that, like I said, right in those areas to add a little bit of a sun-kissed glow. Look how perfect. And then last, I'm coming in with the gold side of the cream highlighting stick. Again, just to add a natural glow to my skin, make me look hydrated. Under my brow, I did use the pearl side, which is the brighter highlight. And I'm just blending these in with my finger. And there you have it. Bronzed, contoured, highlighted, hydrated, shimmered, ready to go.
Okay. Can I just stop this video? Okay, I thought she did such a great job. Did y'all not? You know, she just made it plain. You use the matte for the contouring, you use the shimmer for the bronzing, and then you use the highlighter. And she used the gold as the highlighter, but she used the cream like underneath her brows. So that's how you use it. It's just that simple. Don't make it super complicated. Don't freak out when you have a product that you're not that comfortable with. Just take the video, watch it again. Her name is Amanda Wright. It's on YouTube. It's on TikTok, it's on Instagram, it's on Facebook. And I thought it was a really good explanation with them. So due to lack of time, we're not going to play all the videos for the boosters. I'm going to play one that Mary Kay posted that is a shorter one. Let me pull it up for you guys. But I do encourage you to go watch them because they're really, really good. Okay. So let me see which one I want to do. I think I want to do. These are a little bit long.
For real.
I think I'm gonna do this one right here. I know. Did I say the thing wrong? I'm not surprised if I did. So I'm not the greatest in the names of this stuff. Okay. Let me share the screen with you and play this one. This is kind of an overview. It's like super short. Okay.
Elevate your routine with next level Mary Kay Clinical Solutions boosters. Each dermocosmetic booster is packed with highly potent doses of some of science's most acclaimed ingredients to help target your skin's specific visible signs of aging and unleash skin's full potential with every precious drop. Elevate your routine with next-level boosters. Contact your independent beauty consultant to boost your routine.
Okay, that was a mini commercial. So I'm going to do,
Elevate your routine.
I am going to do one more. I think we have time for one more. It's like a 6-minute one, and then we'll end with this one. This is the one, the brightener one. How do you say it? Ferulic acid. Anyway, here we go. Ferulic. There you go. When you're a Southerner, it's hard. Okay, that's all I can tell you.
I'm teaching my girls just to go with the color on the bottle. Because they all have different colors. So if you can't say the words, just know the purple one's for wrinkles. The blue one plays with everyone. The rest of them you can't use at the same time, but the blue one plays well with all the others. You know, and then the green one is going to just take all of those dead skin cells off of your face overnight. And the orange one's going to get rid of your dark spots. So
thank you, Connie.
That's how I'm doing it.
That's all you need. Well, we'll play this one explanation. Maybe next week we'll play the other. So here we go. And we'll end with this one.
Have you ever looked into the mirror and maybe thought you noticed some new freckles that you swore weren't there before? Sunspots, photo damage, hyperpigmentation, it's all the same thing, uneven skin tone. Uneven skin tone is caused by an irregular production of melanin. This can be triggered by things like the natural aging process, hormones, sun damage, free radicals, and pollution. Now you can take a targeted approach to skin brightening with Mary Kay Clinical Solutions Ferulic plus Niacinamide Brightener. Designed to complement your existing skincare routine, Mary Kay Clinical Solutions Ferulic plus Niacinamide Brightener features a trio of skin brightening ingredients. Each clinical solution booster features meticulously researched ingredients that were purposefully chosen because they are proven to deliver a high level of skincare performance and yield measurable results. And this booster is no different. Mary Kay Clinical Solution Boosters were named in a way so you always remember their key ingredients and the skin concern they target. The first part of the booster's name includes the highly effective ingredient names. The second part of the booster's name indicates the skin concern that it targets. The first ingredient in the name of this skin brightening booster is ferulic acid. Ferulic acid is a highly potent antioxidant. You'll notice that it has a distinct smell too, and that's totally normal. This essential antioxidant helps fight back against the free radicals on skin that can contribute to skin's discoloration. Ferulic acid also has skin soothing properties that help limit key causes of discoloration, thereby reducing the look of uneven skin tone with brightening effects. Think about ferulic acid like a shield that defends your skin from all of the outside things that can cause uneven skin tone. The next ingredient, niacinamide, is one of two major forms of vitamin B3. It is an essential nutrient that's been shown to significantly decrease visible skin discoloration. In fact, when applied topically, niacinamide is one of the best first lines of defense against skin aggressors. Completing this trio of dermocosmetic skin brightening ingredients, navy bean extract, a proprietary ingredient technology patented by Mary Kay, shown to significantly improve skin brightness. This triple thread of skin brightening ingredients work together to address multiple pathways to reduce uneven skin tone and boost skin's brightness. For your customers that want to focus on and overcome uneven skin tone, those who are looking for well-known scientifically acclaimed ingredients, or want a dermocosmetic solution for this specific skin concern, they'll definitely benefit from using Clinical Solutions Ferulic plus Niacinamide Brightener. After cleansing and toning, apply 6 to 8 drops of product onto your fingertips, then smooth evenly across your face. Usage may vary depending on personal preference. Remember, a little goes a long way. Avoid cross-contamination by keeping the dropper away from any surface, including your fingertips and skin. This booster can easily be incorporated into any skincare routine and can be used twice a day. You do not need to be a retinol 0.5 user to benefit from this high-performance skin brightening booster. The Clinical Solutions product line is designed to provide targeted dermocosmetic solutions supplemental to your customers' daily skincare regimens and provide next-level results to enhance their skincare routines. If retinol 0.5 is incorporated into your nighttime skincare routine, be sure to have completed the retinization process prior to introducing Ferulic plus niacinamide brightener into your routine. Clinical Solutions Ferulic plus niacinamide brightener can be used in both day and nighttime skincare routines. Cleanse and tone, apply the brightener, then the hydrator if you're also targeting skin hydration. Then continue with your skincare routine as you normally would with your favorite Mary Kay serum. Remember, boosters are incorporated to target a specific skin concern. They don't replace any product you're already using. Both boosters and serums hold a valuable place in your skincare routine. Each booster provides a very targeted benefit dedicated to overcoming a specific skin concern. It's recommended to take a targeted approach when using these boosters. Use the hydrator with any one of the other 3 boosters based on your primary skin concern. If you or your customers think that your skin needs more than the hydrator and brightener, it's probably best to try a multi-benefit product like Mary Kay Clinical Solutions Retinol Set 0.5. Learn more about targeting skin brightness with this trio of dermocosmetic ingredients and the rest of the Mary Kay Clinical Solutions products that will help you break through to your best skin by visiting Clinical Solutions Confident. And if you haven't already, complete the program to earn your Clinical Solution designation and bling badge. This shows your customers you are confident in your knowledge and understanding of this next level high-performance line of dermocosmetic products that reflect some of the strongest clinical claims Mary Kay has ever achieved. Remember, we're always here to help. Don't hesitate to reach out with any questions you may have by sending an email to the address below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Okay, I don't know about y'all, but I haven't had time to watch that video. It was so good, right? So the other one for the other booster is on there. We will play it next week. But if you have time, go watch it this week. We at Leadership Conference, they did a whole 2 hours, like not 2 hour, but like an hour session on these 2 boosters to educate us. So you do need to know what you're talking about. And like they recommend you don't use all 4 boosters. So don't take the drops and go drop, drop, drop of all 4 boosters. I mean, I don't know what it would do to your face. Sayla could tell us later because I'm sure that's what she does. Just kidding, Sayla.
I'll put them on separate.
Yeah, she goes, well, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. And then the tip on not, like when you tip it out in your hand, try not to let the tip touch your hand. Okay. I didn't realize that the first time I started eating boosters, and I just put it right on my hand. So anyway, this tips for the trade, right? These products will be out on the 10th for everyone that was a star or preferred customer program participant, and the 15th for everybody else. So Friday you can order them. Let me see. I saw a few little. It's Amanda Wright. Amanda Wright is her name. I don't think it's Rice. I think it's Wright. Let me double check that.
It's right.
I thought so. Okay, it's right. W-R-I-G-H-T. Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for watching today. I hope you learned something. I'm excited about the new spring products. I'm excited about the Boss Babe Game Changer calls. Thank you, Maureen, for reading for us tonight. And you guys, let's be intentional this week. And why don't y'all pretend you have a big deadline by the end of the week to do something major? And what could it hurt if you got 5 new recruits this week. I would love the first one that gets 5 recruits in a week to that be one of our boss babes, right? So when does the lookbook come out for the PCP? It's going to come out. They usually mail it around the 11th, and then it usually gets to our customers around the 15th. Sometimes it's been a little delayed, but it's around that week of the 15th or so. Okay. All right, you guys. And I usually mail one to myself. That way I know when I get it, my customers are getting it. All right. So y'all have a great week. Thanks, everybody. And it's good to be back. See everybody next week. Bye, everybody.